One. Hello, everyone, and welcome again. This is Young's Daughters Funeral Home and Bereavement Center channel. I'm Sabrina Young, the owner here, and I'm really excited to have Gretchen Hook with us today. Thank you for everybody that's watching, and let's welcome Gretchen.
Hey Sabrina, how's it going?
Wonderful. I'm so glad that you're with us and you're doing some mighty things. I'm really excited for let people know about you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. I'm really excited to be here. Um, yeah, I'll let you.
So tell us a little bit about the Little Elm Residential Care Home.
All right. So Little Elm Residential Care Home, we've been in business for about a year and a half, and what we do is we take care of people in our home. So we live here. We provide care for our patients and all their activities of daily living. We take pretty much any level of care, except for completely independent. And my husband and I have been in caregiving. We added this up a couple days ago, over 50 years combined total in
Wow.
caregiving. And yeah, so it's something near and dear to our hearts. And I've been in nursing for 32 years and just decided, with all um, the facilities in Temple, Belton, Bell County, and I just figured that it's time to provide some awesome care for people who need it, and that's how we open up our home.
Well, that's really awesome because
Yeah,
I've known you for golly, quite a few years now.
yeah,
Throughout your, not say quite 32 years, but I've known you for quite a little while of your nursing skills and being
yeah.
able to provide that in your own home. So you're caring in your own home. How many rooms do you have then that you're providing for?
So we have three private rooms. Each room comes equipped with a hospital bed, something called a low air loss mattress that helps prevent wounds if somebody's bedbound or is in bed most of the day. That just means that there's airflow throughout the mattress all the time. And we can accommodate three patients. We're very compliant with Texas law and federal law. We also provide um, TVs, DVD player, Wi-Fi, all the good things that people might want or need in their rooms. Um, we uh, we can accommodate patients' families and friends coming to see them. We have a large living room that we get to hang out in, or the big front porch out in the front yard. And yeah, so each room is very comfortable. It's just like home. It's not like a big facility where you get forgotten about, honestly. We are within 30 seconds. Each room also comes equipped with a call bell or call light. So if you need me, push the button and I come running. I'm there. Each room also has a monitor, so I can monitor if I'm in the laundry room doing something. I can see you, make sure that you're safe. Um, yeah, so we're equipped to be able to handle pretty much anybody and any um cognitive issues, non-behavioral dementia, maybe some behavioral, but nothing that is over the top. Like a memory care unit would be able to is more equipped for than we are. But yeah.
That's a really neat concept. I mean, being able to open up your home and making each one of these people feel like they have a family because, many a times families step away because of due to their own lives and it becomes a burden or a hardship on them because they still have to work and having you kind of be that extended family. I bet that just levels the experience of being in a personal home. So what made you want to turn your private home into
Mhm.
a care facility?
Oh, well, honestly, God is our calling. We moved down here from Washington State about 4 years ago, and I used to work for Adult Protective Services for about 7 years in Washington State. And when we moved here, I had seen the degradation of these personal care homes in Washington State. And when I got here, they're not they're not like in Washington, it's kind of like a coffee shop. They're on every corner, these personal care homes. They call them adult family homes there. Here, I believe in Bell County, there's three maybe of these residential care homes. And so I was a chaplain for hospice when I got here, and I still am a chaplain. So each person, if they want religious services or Bible studies or whatever, they get it. But what made me open my home was, again, when I got here and working in the facilities, going in facilities as chaplain, just seeing, things don't change state to state. It's just how it is. And, facilities are short-staffed and they just don't get the personal attention that they deserve and need. So, my home is ADA compliant, the American Disabilities Act compliant. So all the doors are wide enough for a very large wheelchair to get through, walk-in shower. The house is an open concept, if you will. So the reason why we got into it is again because I wanted to be able to provide that care to people that need it. I also provide respite. So if you are somebody who cares for a loved one in your home and you need a break, you can bring them here. And I can offer you that give you a little bit of freedom and rest and relaxation that you really need. And I understand that. Um, so
It kind of would sound a little bit of expensive, or is it kind of on par with your personal care versus kind of like those big facilities? Can you tell us about what it could generally would cost?
sure. So I go about twice a year. I will call facilities or go around the different facilities and get a price list of what they charge, just a basic price list. And then, for example, an assisted living facility, they have a base rate. And then if you need medication management, they charge you for that. If you need somebody to come and help you shower, bathe, or dress, they charge you for that. So what I do is I try to be as competitive price wise. So my base rate just for a basic level of care patient is $5,000 a month. Every facility charges something called a community fee. And it's kind of like when you rent an apartment, you give them kind of like a down payment or, a fee, a cleaning fee or something. Community fees are never refundable. Mine is also on par with everybody else. And sometimes we can negotiate that. I won't tell you what the price is on that. It is very comparable. My respite fee is $250 a day, which is anywhere between $150 to $250 less per day than anywhere else. So, but what they get with that is so much more than what you're going to get in a large facility.
Yeah, I
So,
definitely feel the personal touch. And then having the limited amount of people with your experience and having you and your husband both in the home to split the responsibilities and then
mhm.
meet the needs of the patients. I think you guys are really have set yourself apart from all of the other homes. But how do you feel that you compare against homes in Bell County?
So I think I mentioned earlier, every resident gets what we call wraparound services. So not only do they get nursing, but they get social work. My husband's a licensed clinical social worker, and I'm a licensed mental health professional and a chaplain. And so if somebody needed any kind of mental health or bereavement, I also do bereavement with the families and the patient. When you come to end of life, it can be kind of difficult to deal with. So we talk about it and we deal with it. Um, or if you need help with any kind of power of attorney documentation or out of hospital DNR or anything like that, my husband is somebody who can help you with that as well as I can. Um, we are in constant communication with the families. I do transport to and from doctor's appointments. But I think one of the biggest things I think that a lot of facilities don't talk about is end of life. And I walk with not only the patient but their families during that journey. So generally when you move into a facility, you're coming to end of life. And I became a certified end of life doula. So what I can do is, and that's non-medical. It's also included in the price. All of the wraparound services are included in the price. So it's not like I'm going to charge you, $50 more to do this or, $100 to do that. It's something that's included. So the end of life doula does a lot of the things that I already do. I just wanted to become certified and make it a little bit more official. So walking with the patient and their families through that end of life journey. so that they're not alone. It's not an easy journey to, even if you do have support, sometimes you need that outside support too. So that's what we do.
I'm glad you touched on the end of life doula because that's kind of like a buzzword in the industry right now. People are just now hearing about this. Can you describe what that entails?
Yeah. So, as an end of life doula, I'll quickly walk you through it. Let's say Sabrina goes to the doctor and finds out that she's got a terminal illness and might have a year to 2 years to live. So, I would help take a lot of that burden off of you and your family, either with end of life planning, or even just being that companion, somebody to talk to, somebody to be with, um, so that, your family doesn't have to do that. They can still remain your family. Where a lot of times a husband and wife, it's a lot. When you learn that you're coming to the end of your life, it is a lot on everybody. And so I help take that burden off. I also can help you with your power of attorney documentation, the out of hospital DNR stuff. It's not I don't do anything legal necessarily, but I can also do, um, oh, what are they called? Where legacy projects where I can help you take all of your pictures and put them together for a family member, or do videos, write letters, do all sorts of stuff that way, help you go through all of your belongings and disseminate them to your family members. So there's just a lot of things that end of life doulas can do. I can also help you with funeral planning. And again, so somebody like Sabrina and I would get together with the family or the patient, and we would talk about funeral planning. Something I learned about when I was taking my certification course about end of life doulas is there is something called, it's a funeral before you die, essentially. So it's a living funeral. And so you get to plan it, you get to be there, you get to celebrate your life before you've passed away with everybody. And, which is something unique in and of itself. I never heard of that before, but I think it's kind of cool. So yeah, there's just a lot of things that people don't really think about these things. Again, if you get a diagnosis where you're terminal or you're a little bit older and you're just, again, coming to the end of life, you don't want to have to think about all that. It's a lot to do. So that's something that I would come alongside of you and help you with.
I think that's great that you offer that. And we in the funeral industry, we call it the bedside ceremony, right? We have helped and facilitated some of those that are maybe they haven't certified in death doula, but they're certainly doing a lot of the, steps and protocols, I guess, as one would.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that some people really appreciate that bedside ceremony, and others just say, "No, I don't want to hear anything. Say it
Yeah.
at my memorial," So it's kind of it's interesting to see the evolution of the care and writing letters, and that's one thing that we certainly advocate for is trying to capture a video clip of somebody giving their own testimony of their life, giving their own messages to leave behind with their loved ones.
Yeah.
We definitely advocate for that. And so hats off to you for making those families comfortable enough to talk about, their life and their legacy. That's so important. I want to make sure though that people know how to get in contact with you. In
Sure.
the event that they're needing your services. Can you please share?
Yes. So I have several different ways to get a hold of me. You can go on my website. It's littleelmrch.com. So it's LITTLEELMRCH.com. Or the phone number is 254-314-8340. Or you can email me. It's also littleelmrch@proton.me, M-E. So, there's just, and I do have office hours, but I will answer 24/7. If somebody's in the hospital and they're needing a place to go, I will answer my phone. And if I have a room available, I will make that happen. So something else that sets me apart, I wanted to add this to, is my visiting hours are 24/7, 7 days a week, every day. And the reason why I say that is I've had several patients whose spouses did not want to be alone overnight, so they came here to sleep with, in the same room with their husband or wife. I think it's super important to offer that. You know, being the spouse or the loved one who's dealing with this, or the coming to the end of life, or having to place their spouse into a home is not an easy decision to make, and I want to make sure to support them as much as possible. So, um, yeah, that's I don't know. I try to put myself in everybody else's shoes. To if I want to come see my husband at the facility and they said no, well, I'm gonna show up anyway.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so
Well, I
anyway,
definitely commend you for being so available to your patients. I can tell that it's very heartfelt for you. And you're right, it's a God-appointed calling in a service. And I think, a mentor of mine once said that to me. He said, Sabrina, your funeral home should be open 24/7. The day you put 9 to 5 and you don't allow anybody else to have access to you, you're no longer doing it for the Lord. You're doing it just, because it's a business or because you've lost the interest in doing it. Now it's no longer something that's joyful. And I, always found that to be true. That's why even here people say, oh, well, there's office hours. No, there's really not though. Like all of us, we all wake up, we all, get to work right when the phone's called or the door knocks and things like that. So
yeah,
I appreciate you guys being a Christian affiliated company and being proud to say that. I mean, I've seen
absolutely.
people that are kind of shy and they don't want to disclose that. And so hats off to you, sister, for opening up your home. You've been doing this what for how long now? 1 year, 2 years?
Year and a half.
Year and a half. So
Year and a half.
doing
Yeah.
something right. You're doing something
Yeah.
right. So I really
Yeah.
want to commend you on all the things that you and your husband are doing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day for me. It's an honor, and yeah, I'm really glad to partner with you, Sabrina.
Awesome, sister. Well, if anybody needs any information, if you want a tour, if you need to just kind of pick her brain, her and her husband have a wealth of knowledge there. So I'll try to put that in the comments below, her phone number and the website. Please like, share, subscribe, whatever the platform calls for. Do all of those fun little bells and whistles for me, so we can get education out there for people that are needing these resources. Again, thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you guys all stay blessed. Till our next one.